What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. In this one, we are going to be doing something a little bit different. I am going to be reading through a DM that I received from one of you guys. So one of my followers reached out to me on Instagram and asked me to provide him with some insight into the situation that he is currently in. So I'm going to read through this one, and I'm not going to lie, it's a doozy. So buckle up and hopefully you guys can learn something from this man's situation. He says, "Hello, Brandon. I doubt that you'll see this, but you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. I am 20 years old and I'm a virgin because of my faith, just like me. And he can't comprehend doing anything outside of marriage. He ultimately is currently struggling with the breakup of his ex. He says, I believed she was going to be my wife. We had so many ups and downs as teenagers. We had so many problems, but my love for her and my want to bring her happiness in her life and build a happy home was way stronger and bigger than the little arguments that we would have. Fast forward in time, I found out that she was cheating on me for the last 10 months of our relationship. I can't stop loving her. I feel like a loser bitch, but I can't help but still want her as my wife. Although what happened was the worst thing she could have ever done, I don't know what to do anymore. She broke me and she shook me to my core for so long. I was so sure about my beliefs, but she made me question every belief that I had. She made me doubt my beliefs and it became worse and worse. Starting off, I asked myself, was I wasting my time staying a virgin? I was asking the question, does God even exist? Ultimately, I want to have a family and marry someone and live peacefully, but I feel hopeless. I feel myself drifting back into darkness and depression and despair. I work tirelessly day and night in every aspect of my life, from my career, my body and my mind and my family, because ultimately my goal is to have a life with kids and a wife, but now I feel lost and my goal feels unrealistic." Now, the first thing that I asked this man is I asked him, do you feel like you worshiped this woman? And his answer was yes. I became anxiously attached to her. I was obsessed with her. It's like she became my drug dealer. I was so incredibly addicted. All right? And this is a trap that I see so many men fall into in today's landscape. And it's what we're going to be talking about today, which is what it looks like when a man loses himself. And this is something that almost every single man will go through. Because at the end of the day, pain is the best teacher. And the whole point of this video, the whole point why I have made this channel in the first place, is because ultimately I have personally made so many mistakes. Some of them I have made multiple times, and my goal is to help you guys not make the same mistakes. But I also understand that some lessons must be learned through pain and through suffering. At the end of the day, I am not a dating coach. I've gotten a couple comments that are like, Brandon, are you getting into dating coaching now? No, my goal is to build strong masculine men. Specifically strong masculine American men, because I really believe in America as a country. I'm extremely patriotic, and I hate to see the decline of masculinity that is occurring right now with the modern man. So I am simply trying to create stronger men. I am a fitness coach first and foremost. I help people master their body through their nutrition, their training, their habits, their discipline, their knowledge about how to control their own bodies via those exact things. Ultimately, my goal is to make men more competent and more confident than ever. And you can't have confidence and competence when you are lost as a man, when you can't see your way out, when you can't see which way you should go. So a man loses himself when he begins to find his identity in a woman. This happens to all of us. It's happened to me before. It's happened to me once, and then I thought it wasn't going to happen again, and then I went ahead and I did it again. I give too much. What ultimately we do as men is we see these women as a solution to our problem. And at the end of the day, every single man has a hole in his heart. He will always feel like something is missing. When a man is alone, he will never be 100% complete. We are ultimately made to be communal beings and have relationships with other humans that are satisfying, but it's never going to satisfy us fully. There is a hole in every single man's heart, and I will argue that that hole points us to our Creator. Our Creator is supposed to fill that void. But while we are on earth, while we are living in a fallen world, it's impossible for that void to be completely filled. But what we try to do is we try to go around and we try to jam different things in there. Some people go and they get a dog, thinking that it's going to solve all of their problems. They go and they get a girlfriend. They think it's going to solve all their emotional problems. But at the end of the day, women were made to be man's helper, not the other way around. They were supposed to complement us, not give us a crutch to rest on. And that's how most modern relationships go. The modern relationship doesn't even have any economic backing. Like there's no, societal reason for one family to be tied to another anymore. Now the main reason that people get married is because they're looking for a therapist. They're looking for somebody to fill that emotional hole in their heart that they feel when they're all alone by themselves. All right? There are way too many men that are way too reliant on women. And this is exactly what happened in this man's situation. This shows a lack of focus on purpose, on duty, and ultimately on pursuit of what God is calling you to do. I believe that every single man has a calling. Your calling may look different from mine, but at the end of the day, you may look at yourself and think, I don't know what my calling is. If you don't know what your calling is from your Creator, what are you doing trying to go and find a woman? Your job is going to be to lead her. You are going to find yourself in this same exact situation if you put yourself out there thinking that the woman is going to solve your problems. Guys, marriage is hard. Relationships are difficult. It is not the solution to your problems. And so many single men that I'm around constantly think, oh, if I could just be in a relationship, if I could just find that perfect girlfriend, all of my problems would be solved. Dude, you're looking in the wrong direction. You need to work towards your purpose. You've got a calling as a man that you should be chasing. You should ultimately find your identity in the work that you are doing for the glory of God, to build the kingdom of God. That is where you should find your identity, not in a woman. Now, at the end of the day, there are a bunch of different signs that a man will start to show when he is falling out of frame, when he is starting to worship a woman, when he is starting to leave his divine calling. And one of the biggest ones is that he stops pursuing physical excellence. Like he just stops. He stops going to the gym. He stops taking care of his body. He stops eating a good amount of protein every single day. His diet goes out the window. This is an easy thing to see. With men that get into relationships, they become soft. And what I want you to understand is that there is a constant battle between the masculine and feminine energy in every single relationship. The feminine energy is the energy that wants you to relax, to enjoy life, to be incredibly emotionally connected with people, to be incredibly relational. This feminine energy can either complement you as a man or it can destroy you. You have to be incredibly careful. You have to be incredibly competent when it comes to being able to identify when feminine energy is actually benefiting you and when it is tearing you down. At the end of the day, I want you to ask yourself as a man, how can you expect other people to believe in you and trust you when you don't even believe and trust in yourself? When you don't keep the promises that you tell yourself. You say, I am going to wake up at this time. I am going to do this work. I am going to hit the gym every single day. I am going to eat right every single day. And yet you don't even keep the promises to yourself, but you expect somebody else to let you lead them? No. People that lie to themselves, when they get into relationships, they lose the respect of their partner. And at the end of the day, this situation, I don't know all of the nitty-gritty. I don't know all the details. But what I can tell you is that when you become obsessed with a woman, when you say, I need you like I need to breathe air, that is a moment where she loses an incredible amount of respect for you. Because she says, this man is not self-sufficient. He cannot ultimately control my life. He can't point me in the right direction. He can barely even keep the promises to himself. He can't even keep control of his body. You as the man, you're supposed to be the leader. You're supposed to be the shining example for the woman to follow. She is supposed to compliment you. She is supposed to fall into your frame. But if you are constantly relying on her, putting all of your faith and your hope in her ability to emotionally satisfy you, you are missing out on a massive piece of the puzzle. And I want you guys to always remember this, that confidence ultimately comes from within you. Every single day that you do something that you said that you were going to do, it builds up a stack of proof that you are who you say that you are. And that confidence is ultimately what is going to exude when you are in public settings, when you are around women, when you are around other men. At the end of the day, when you start off as a young man, you feel lost partially just because you don't know who you are yet. And that's why I push young men towards routine. That's why I push men towards having specific habits that allow them to keep the promises that they make to themselves every single day, because it builds up that confidence. When you become 40, 50, 60 years old, if you've worked a ton, you have accolades, and you can basically say to everybody else, even to yourself, here are the fruits of my labor. That will support your confidence. But when you're a young man and you haven't done anything, the best thing you can learn to do is keep the promises to yourself. Keep your health in check. Do not let your want for relationship cloud your judgment, take you away from what you should be doing, which is working for the glory of God. So hopefully this video helped you guys out. I really hope that some of you guys stuck till the end. Make sure to drop a thumbs up down below in the comment section if you guys did make it all the way to the end of the video. And I will see you guys all in the next one. Peace.